Hello everyone, I am Manisha. A warm welcome to all the esteemed guests, Commissionerate of Industries Government of Telangana, industry associations from Jeedimetla, Sanath Nagar, Bolaram, Balanagar, Nagar, and federations like FEXIA and TAPMA and ILA's office bearers, along with the implementation agencies and other stakeholders who have joined us for today stakeholder consultation on raising and accelerating MSME performance RAM, organized by Rich Research and Innovation Circle of Hyderabad with support of all other stakeholders. MSMEs form the backbone of our economy, contributing significantly to the employment, generation, innovation, and economic growth. However, for sustained progress, it is important to embrace sustainable practices and integrate green technologies into the MSME ecosystem. Today's event is an important step towards realizing that vision. We are gathered here today to explore pathways for generating MSMEs, enhancing sustainability, and fostering innovation. This event serves as a vital platform to exchange ideas, deliberate on challenges, and co-create solutions for a more resilient and environmentally conscious MSME sector. We have an engaging agenda lined up, including thought-provoking sessions, insightful discussions, and Q&A sessions that will provide us with actionable insights. I encourage all participants to actively engage, share their insights, and make the most of this platform. While the registrations are going on and other industry associations are on their way, we will start the session now. I would like to invite the energy experts team to lead the awareness session on technologies for greening of MSMEs with use cases. The session will highlight practical approaches and real-world applications of sustainable technologies in MSMEs. So, please take the stage, sir.
Very good afternoon all. Thank you for joining today. And we are also very happy we are part of this project. We are part of this movement. And we would like to thank Government of Telangana, Reach and other institutions for inviting us. So we work very closely with the industries, large industries as well as MSME industries. We work on energy project, energy audits. So today we will talk about some new energy technologies which we can implement in your industry so you can be more efficient and also you can reduce your cost. Without any further delay, we'll start our presentation. I request my colleague Mr. Srinivasrao to start the presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we are extensively working with industries on all energy environment related areas, which is part of the greening initiative of MSME. So if you talk about green, so what does green indicate? Green indicate that how we improve our energy efficiency. Efficiency ఎలా improve చేస్తాం, రిసోర్స్ ఇంటెన్సిటీ ఎలా తగ్గిస్తాం. మన ఇండస్ట్రీస్ లో ఏదైతే రిసోర్సెస్ మనం వాడుతున్నామో దాని ఇంటెన్సిటీ ఎలా తగ్గిస్తాం అన్నది ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఇంప్రూవింగ్ ద ఎఫిషియన్సీ అండ్ రిడ్యూసింగ్ ద ఇంటెన్సిటీ ఆఫ్ ద రిసోర్స్. సో దీనివల్ల మనకి ఏంటంటే టాంజిబుల్ బెనిఫిట్స్ అంటే ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ రెవెన్యూ మనకి ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ ఉంటుంది advantage. At the same time, intangible benefit like you cannot see them directly, but they will be help that benefits there. So tangible benefits అంటే cost reduction లో help అవుతాయి. Energy efficiency తగ్గిస్తే energy efficiency improve చేస్తే energy cost తగ్గుతుంది. At the same time, if you reduce the material intensity, you will reduce the cost. And at the same time, if you put your efforts on environmental related things, you can meet the compliance requirements. And once you have done this, you can also look at how to use the waste in your products. Once you use waste in your products, your resource intensity will come down. How to recycle, reuse the waste, that is also based on which sector you, that also you can do. And third thing is the water. So these are some things like that it will help you to reduce your costs, reduce your raw material cost, improve your compliance, or reduce your business risk. This is important because if you don't operate your factories in an environmental compliant way, there are business risks always. We know, like, once we take all the environmental practices, we will be perceived well in the society and we will have that goodwill in the society. So basically, green helps us makes business sense and also economic sense. That is what convey. So in terms of greening, there are two things. One is greening and the other one is cleaner production. So this is where the renewable energy, reducing the pollutants, all those things will come into picture. And then resource efficiency is, it can be anything, any resource. It can be energy, raw material, water, any resource. So all these things come under the greening. So once we take this initiative in our industry, it will help us to improve the culture within the industry also. Once the employee sees that we are focusing on these areas, they will also perceive our factory as a better place, which is helping the society rather than taking in something out of the society. These kind of messages also we can through this greening initiative. So talking about, we will be focusing on 4 areas. One is the energy efficiency, circularity, where we can use waste. Instead of using virgin material, we can recycle, reuse different material. That case studies also we have. And then water, which is also very important, and cleaner production that will help us to reduce our operations impact, reduce our impacts on the society, negative impacts on the society because of industries. And then cleaner production and then water management is also critical, because if we don't manage our water well, then there is an issue with respect to tomorrow if water becomes scarce, then industry would be the first to get affected. So moving on to the energy efficiency area. So these are some interventions which we can take through energy efficiency. Like energy efficiency, either you can improve the existing equipment, either you can fine tune them, you can put some retrofits like BFD, or you can change the impeller of the pump, fan. Based on that efficiency you can get. And then you can look at the latest technologies like heat pumps or IoT technologies, which will help you to monitor your equipment in a better way, and then monitor the actual consumption. And if in case you take any energy efficiency measure, is that affecting your performance? Those things also you can monitor. These are some technologies which are available. And in the waste also, we can take some like using the biomethylation plants, these things. And then at the same time, if you have some energy intensive equipment, you can work with your OEMs to replace them with energy efficient ones like chillers or furnace. Those things also you can do. These are different interventions which you can take. So over our experience, we have seen that in different sectors, we can, like engineering sector, 5 to 25% energy efficiency can be achieved. In chemical sector, 5 to 10%, textile 10 to 20%, foundry 5 to 15%. So these are some indicative numbers. This depends on at what stage the industry is currently there. If the industry is already taking some initiatives, the potential might be slightly less. If they have not taken any initiative, this potential will be much higher based on the energy intensity of that sector. If energy is a key component in that industry, like for suppose you take a pharma sector, energy is intense. And if you take an engineering sector, it's slightly lesser intense. So it also depends on that. Going forward, so we'll go for some case studies. So boilers are one important areas where a lot of initiatives can be taken with respect to different components. So one boiler, if an industry has a boiler, that means it has a very big potential. We have to look at every equipment, how the fuel is being fed, how the air is being fed, all these things. And that is one critical area, apart from the waste heat recovery. If a boiler is there, it consumes energy, and it also the flue gas happens. When flue gas is exiting, that waste heat also can be. So we have seen some case studies in the MSMEs where the exit flue gas and the waste heat available in the waste water also can be recovered as a form of heat, and which can be reused in the industry. So this is the next case study. So this is the case study where the process and the flue gas waste heat has been used, and good amount of saving has been achieved. 40 lakhs per annum has been achieved with an investment of 100 lakhs. We might think that waste heat is not means heat available in the waste heat is not much, and I need a higher grade. But this height can be boosted to a higher grade and which can be reduced. So these kind of technologies are available, and it is a good area. The other one is the compressed air system, which is available in all the industries. So there is generally there is significant amount of leakage, and any initiative in this area will give lot of benefits, because compressed air system only 15% to 20% energy is actually reaching where it has to reach. In this, the system itself in transmission, distribution, lot of energy is getting wasted. So once we do a study of that, then the energy saving can be potential can be one particular case. The other one is the compressor. Compressors, lot of new technologies are coming, and the compressor load also varies significantly. Monitoring it and then putting some retrofits like frequency drive or replacing it with a very efficient compressor, also energy saving measures can be taken. So this one particular case, significant unloading was there in the compressor, and good amount of saving has been achieved by installing a variable frequency. So now going on to the next section, that is the material circularity and waste utilization. As I said, these days you might have heard about the word circularity. Circularity, and basically it means how we reuse the material rather than just sending it as a waste. So these are some concepts. So circularity means instead of from the time the material comes into the industrial production, how many times we reuse it within the system before it is getting existed out of the system to a landfill, or it get burned or whatever. So how many times we can reuse? So earlier it was like we were getting the material, we are using it, and we are sending it to landfill or burning it, or we are dumping it everywhere. Now people are looking at how to reuse this waste multiple times before it gets exited from the useful system. So these are the material circularity thing. These being adopted everywhere. This is for many reasons. One is for reducing the raw material cost. The other is reducing the greenhouse gas emissions, the CO2 and all. So these are, because of this, this material circularity is gaining a lot of importance. So in the paper sector, if you see in 1990s and 2000s, you might see that lot of paper which is being used is basically virgin paper. But today, if you see, most of the 70 to 80% of the paper we are using today is recycled. That is because the industry has moved from virgin pulp based to waste paper based. So that kind of transformation. Similarly, we are seeing in the metal sector also a lot of recycling. In India, we don't have much metal for recycling, but in other countries it is there. So there they are focusing. But whatever extent we have, we are also focusing on this material. Yeah. So yeah. So these are like waste. We should not think that waste means it is really a waste. It is actually a resource. It can be used in multiple ways. Now people are exploring. It can be used for generating energy. So this rice husk and other, even the municipal solid waste is being used to generate electricity. So there are some particular organizations which have a particular business. They have ventured into other areas based on the waste available in their particular sector. So here, if you see, these are different waste studies. Like power waste is used for power generation. Waste is being for recycling. Plastic waste is being recycled, and then composting of waste. Fly ash utilization, a particular ACC, most of you might be knowing it. They have used ash in their as a raw material to produce cement, and they have also ventured into brick manufacturing using this ash. So basically, people are trying to use waste in multiple ways. And then e-waste recycling is a big area because the e-waste is going to increase and people are trying to recover valuable metals out of it. And this is another area. So really, what we get from this is that how to think like what material we are using in our factory now. Can we substitute with some other material? That is one way. The other thing is the process, some changes can be done so that the waste can be reduced. So these are some activities we can do. And third thing is, can we use the waste which we are generating, can we send it to some useful purpose rather than sending it to wetland? So these are some activities and it saves business sense also to reuse and utilize the waste. I think now from here, I'll just hand over to Mr. Vinay. He'll be covering the water related.
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Very warm welcome to this meeting here. So, like my colleague was telling about the importance of energy in our business, the same importance also water also carries. So it is also a very valuable resource. So it also needs to be conserved. It needs to be monitored. It needs to be managed in a better way. So, like, see, 70% of our earth is filled with water, but still there is a water crisis. So 70% of our earth is filled with water, but still there is a water crisis because the actual water, the quality of water which we require for our consumption, the availability of that water is barely 3%, and that is also diminishing very rapidly. So in the past also, recently, many big industries, their operations have shut down just because of water shortages. So it is time for now to look at this aspect very seriously. So I think these are the main challenges which are faced by the industries, and I'm sure even in your industries also, you also might be facing the same challenges, like the effluent water quality, and challenges in reuse. So we need a particular. I'm audible now, I hope. Okay. So for our processes in your industries, we need a particular quality of water. So to obtain that particular quality of water, it is not readily available. The groundwater quality may be contaminated. So this is one challenge. And high water consumption for low-end applications. Like for small kind of processes, some batch cleaning processes, you need high consumption of water. So somewhere the economics is not matching. And lack of awareness about technologies and best practices. So now there are so many technologies which have come up which will help us to save our water footprint. Like you have a carbon footprint, energy footprint, you also have water footprint. So some very low scale technologies which are there, which can be used immediately, having a very low capex. These are some solutions available with a very low capex and which will have a high impact on your water footprint. Okay, like there are water saving faucets and sprinklers. So now the latest water taps and water faucets which are available in the market, they are coming by default. They are coming fitted with a aerator kind of fitting from inside. So when you open the tap, it will not discharge a high quantity of water. So only the thing is, see, when we are washing our hands, when we open the tap, the main thing, the property which we require is water along with some amount of pressure. That is all we require. So what this is doing is, this is mixing a little bit of air, and it is reducing the water. It is increasing the water flow. It is giving us the desired pressure, and the water consumption is less. So this you can immediately retrofit with your existing old taps. You can save at least 60 to 70% of your water consumption. Rainwater harvesting, we all know, and STP water for gardening. So sewage treatment plants. So whatever water is being discharged in our facility, if we are able to establish a way of collecting it and treating it, the treated water can be used for non-human contact purposes like flushing or gardening or that kind of things. Enhanced COC of cooling towers. So COC stands for cycles of concentration. So cooling towers, basically, this is the, for those people who don't know, cooling towers is used in the HVAC sector for cooling. So it is a way of rejecting heat. So for operating cooling towers, a large quantity of water is circulated, and through evaporation and based on this principle, after some amount of time, like after about typically 3 to 4 cycles, the water has lost some of its property. I mean, see, in water, calcium is there, silica is there, magnesium salts are there. So they are tolerated about up to a certain level. When they, as a circle increases, second cycle, third cycle, the concentration of these salts increases. The effect of the water becomes not undesirable. So it has to be discharged. So time to time, you have discharging a large quantity of water, like cooling tower. So there are technologies available of operating cooling towers up to 8 COCs. So where you are discharging 30% of your cooling tower water in 3 or 4 COCs, now you can use the same quantity of water up to 8 cycles. So here you are saving a lot of water. And then water management by IoT, or Internet of Things. So using this, when you are measuring your water quantity consciously, you can definitely implement certain measures. So we just go to a particular case study. Now this is an automatic vessel cleaning system. So typically, conventionally, what was happening is, now this is a reactor. After a particular batch is over, the reactor has to be cleaned. So DM water is being utilized to clean it. So the conventional method, what was happening earlier was manually DM water was being sprayed into this particular vessel and for a particular time, and then so about 80 KL per week of water consumption was recorded. So now the latest technology which has been implemented here is automatic. The entire system has been automatic cleaning system. So it is having a motorized nozzle arrangement. So it rotates in high speed, and it is with pressure, it is dispersing water, and it is reducing your water. So from 80 KL, the water consumption has come down to 24 KL per week. So that's a massive savings. So actually now, even in the latest washing machines, there is a program setting called Eco Drum Cleaning. So even in the latest washing machines which are coming, now this technology is being used. So after a particular amount of cycles, the washing machine will give you an alarm that the drum needs to be cleaned. When you press that option, the same functionality is happening there also. Yeah, so like I told about cycles of concentration in cooling towers. So typically the value for blowdown means when you have to discharge a certain amount of water from the cycle. So typically 1000 mg per liter of TDS. So when the TDS of the water increases with every cycle, so you have to blow it down. So now this is operating at a particular COC of 2.5. So now mostly in conventional cooling towers, the entire operation is manual. Now this automated blowdown system, so you are giving one sensor is there, is measuring the conductivity of the water, and based on the conductivity level of the water, it is automatically operating a valve and discharging a certain quantity of water. Only the water which is required, only the amount of water required to be discharged is being discharged, and then the cycle. Now in cooling towers also, you are having better technologies now. For example, scale bioreactors, where the COC can go up to 8, then closed loop cooling towers. So many options are there, and many technologies are there available in this particular equipment. So the next module is IoT. So I would request Saul sir.
So far we have talked about many technologies related to energy efficiency, water management, or waste management. Maybe some of the technologies already you have implemented in your areas, and some of the technologies maybe you have not implemented. But when you are thinking for implementation of any kind of energy efficient technology, your first step should be the energy metering system. Okay, metering system means not only that energy meter by the electricity department. You should have all the areas, whatever energy equipment we have, at least 80% should be covered with the energy metering system. Okay, and then so that we can observe what's the major, which one equipment is consuming, what type of energy, how much energy is consuming, which equipment is how much efficient, all those things. Now in the market, several IT companies are there. They are offering their solution at a very relevant price or cheaper price. Okay, so you can hire those things or you can install this IT application in your plant, and you can monitor the what is the energy consumption. And not only in this scenario, not only energy consumption, you can monitor water consumption, we can monitor compressed air consumption, we can monitor steam consumption, all the things. All the things, you can put sensor and you have to install the meter and you can see what is their consumption and you can take the informed decisions. Even if you are part of this project, if you are interested to be part of this project, under this project, there are several IT solution offers solution that we are providing. So you can also adopt those things and install in your plan. And then in that case, you can take the better decision where how you can reduce your energy consumption in your plan. And that should be your first step when you are approaching towards greening your unit. Now there are many companies that we are working with. They have implemented all the areas. They have taken actions in all the areas like energy efficiency, water management, waste management, material circularity. So I just want to give one example, one organization. So that this is also a small MSP companies, around 50 crores was their turnover in around 2015 or 2016 that time. So when they are part of this project, when they are part of working with the greener, they want to make their unit greener. So they have worked on every areas and they have implemented. So they have implemented various type of energy efficient technologies. They have implemented started using the renewable energy. They have started using the waste management, and by which they have reduced their cost substantially. Okay, and because of not only reducing their cost, also this increased the green image of that company. Okay, so they are a small emission company. They are supplying their product to the big organization. And with the big organization taking the material from their unit, so seeing that okay, this company, this product, they are producing much more efficient. Okay, so when you see what are the things they have implemented, they reduce the energy efficiency consumption by almost 20-30% by implementing energy efficient compressor, energy efficient pump, energy efficient boiler. Okay, then they have started using the solar power, solar panel on the rooftop. Okay, around 200 plus kWp they have installed in their plant, and they have reduced their electricity consumption. Fossil green electricity power consumption they have reduced. Then they have installed the biogas plant. They have also recycling their material. Okay, so there are several activities they have taken in their plant, and that is why drastically they are not only SEC, their water condition they have reduced, and they have become the preferred vendors for the industries. So they have what is happening when they are supplying, they exporting their product. So these people are also seeing that yes, this product is very efficient, very green product. So they are getting the preference compared to there are other similarly glass making companies are also there, but this company become the preferred vendors. So whenever we are reducing energy consumption, we are aiming for the green. It will not saving your cost. It will also increase the free energy. And people will trust in okay, I need this, I want to buy from this company also. So this is just overall just a briefing of about greening. If you green, you want to make it greener organization, then what are the benefits you can achieve. So this is just the starting thing concept. There are much more things are there. If you have each training module, you have each module for each area like energy management, water management, waste management, 2 days module. So if you want to know more anything, you please reach, and we are also already there to support you. Thank you so much. If you have any question, you can ask. I tell you.
So, any of the MSMEs want to learn more, interact with them individually, or is there any questions that you need to ask?
Also, you can maybe you can note down your questions. We have a QA session at the end. So that time also you can have that QA session.
Thank you, T, for the awareness session. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Rashmi Pimplekaru, CEO of Bridge, to deliver the opening remarks and set the tone for today's discussion.
A very good afternoon to all of you. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to this stakeholder consultation. My name is Rashmi Pimple, and I'm the CEO of RICH, Research and Innovation Circle of Hyderabad. RICH is a Government of Telangana initiative which was launched by the Industries Department back in 2017. We serve as a bridge between various research institutions, industry, and government bodies. We operate in three main areas: life sciences, food and agriculture, and sustainability. And in sustainability in particular, our strong focus is on energy. We have initiated several initiatives on energy transition, which are important for the state and which align with some of the national missions of India. As for today's session, you may be aware that the state government recently has launched two very important policies. One is the clean and green energy policy, and second is the MSME policy. In the MSME policy in particular, there is a strong focus on increasing the availability and affordability of land, access to market, access to finance, access to raw materials, and also, more importantly, encouraging the adoption of newer technologies by the MSMEs. So through this policy, the state wants to increase the MSMEs contribution to GSDP by 10% and also increase the growth of about 15% year on year on TG IPAS registrations. As with the energy policy, there are several provisions. The main focus is on renewable energy, battery storage, biofuels, green hydrogen, waste to energy, and so on. Also, there are several provisions on PCB clearances, water consumption reimbursements, and also electricity duty exemptions. So the state recognizes that MSMEs are the backbone of the economy, but at the same time, they also face various challenges. So the government is trying to look at the growth of MSMEs from a sustainability lens. And we all know that unless MSMEs are on board, a greater impact cannot be achieved. So I'm hoping that more and more of you are open to adopting greener and cleaner technologies, because that is where MSMEs are going to benefit immensely. And we believe that this program is a great starting point. So all I want to assure you is that this is not a one-off session where we come, we tell you what are the options, and we vanish. This is a dedicated program. There are about 10 implementing agencies like RICH within the government who are looking at multiple components of this program, and each one of them is going to help you, to benefit you, to improve your efficiency and all other aspects as well. So I'm urging all of you to please participate very actively in these deliberations, share your challenges, your requirements, your barriers, and also come forward to look at it, to consider adopting cleaner and greener technologies. So with that, I once again welcome you to this session, and I'm hoping and I'm assuring you that this is going to be a very productive session for all of us involved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Nacharam, for your insightful words and for highlighting the significance of this consultation. As we are waiting for the dignitaries from the Industries Department come, we will go ahead with into the core theme today for today's consultation, Greening of MSMEs. I invite Mr. Srinivas Sharma, Director of Sustainability RICH, to introduce this crucial initiative.
Thank you to one and all for coming down on a Saturday afternoon, giving us your valuable time and showing interest in this very important initiative around greening of MSMEs. I would like to briefly talk about the sustainability vertical in general, and then get into the core theme on greening of MSMEs. Sustainability vertical, as Rajmi has already introduced, works on several key areas around energy transition. We take on a lot of projects which are aligned to national missions. So National Green Hydrogen Mission, we are trying to set up a green hydrogen valley around the area. We're working on this RAMP program, raising and accelerating MSME performance. And we're also working on alternate chemistry and storage systems with IIT Hyderabad here, but to come out with battery energy storage systems which will improve the reliability of power for MSMEs and microgrids. Similarly, we are also working in the area of circularity and e-mobility, several initiatives. If there is any further interest, kindly feel free to reach out because this is not a core topic of discussion. I'll move on. In general, what we have seen is that about MSMEs, there are about 9 lakh MSMEs in the state of Telangana. Yeah. And there are about 9 lakh MSMEs in the state of Telangana. A vast majority of them being the micro enterprises. But we do have a good portion of medium and small enterprises as well. When it comes to the wealth creation and employment, MSMEs contribute a lion's share of about 46% in the employment. So thank you all for sustaining lives of many households. Also, there's this, as Rashmi already highlighted, significant contribution to the state GDP. And therefore, they have definitely been on the government's focus to ensure that the MSMEs are strengthened and sustained. But when it comes, on the other hand, we are also looking at what kind of resources are consumed by the MSMEs. So when we look at the energy consumption, about 70 gigawatt hour, 70,000 gigawatt hour of energy is consumed overall in the state of Telangana, and about 40% of this, about 25 to 28 gigawatt hour, 1,000 gigawatt hour is consumed by industries. And further in this, 1/4 of that is taken up by MSMEs. So the large industries are consuming a lot more energy, but MSMEs also contribute a significant draw on the power consumption in the state. But when we look at the green component, renewable energy component, then we see that it's a meager 1%. Right? So there's a lot of scope for greening at least the power area for MSMEs. That's one takeaway. ఈ స్లైడ్ ద్వారా నేను చెప్పాలనుకున్నది సరే గ్రీన్ ఎనర్జీ చాలా సిగ్నిఫికెంట్ గా ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్ చేయొచ్చు. Further, what are the drivers? Why should MSMEs take a greening? There are economic drivers, market drivers, and other kind of drivers. When it comes to economic, certainly any green initiative tends to lower the production cost and make the product more cheaper and more affordable. It also opens up access to lower cost green finance. And this is becoming very apparent for the bigger industries today. A lot of the listed companies, if they have to raise finance, banks would not give finance if the money is being put into polluting projects or projects which have a high carbon footprint. The lending rate has increased. This is likely to also be something that the MSMEs will see in the near future. So greener projects certainly have a lower cost of finance. And also government is coming forward with multiple incentives for MSMEs to adopt greener. And market as well is demanding greener products. It also gives improves the inherent value of the MSME and its product. If you promote or brand your MSME as green or the product as green, there's an inherent value in appreciation of the product or the service. So that's one more driver. There are many other drivers in the sense societal perceptions on the company being greener, non-polluting, and therefore more acceptance. The employees also feel having a feel-good factor that you're working in a company which is more environmentally friendly, Paryavaran kosam, not harming, but it is benefiting the environment. So several of these are there. Some of the common practices, I think CI has already covered most of these, but if I have to hit again, deploying some variable frequency drives and waste heat recovery systems, shift to energy efficient equipment, adoption of renewable energy, preventive maintenance, keeping the machinery and everything in prime condition, right? Common facilities, management, digitization through energy management systems and compliance certification. So there are several of these which can be taken up by MSMEs, and many of our industries are already pursuing one or more of these. But through this initiative, through the RAMP initiative, we want to make sure we offer all of them, all these services at a very in a easier way to MSMEs so that they can pick things up and without too much of hurdles or issues. So that's probably the core intent of Greening MSME initiative. Rashmi had already highlighted that there are about 10 other agencies which are working on several of these initiatives. For instance, industries department themselves are handling a large study on consolidating all MSME databases. They're very much fragmented, which makes it difficult for industry department to decide what kind of incentives to offer, where to offer, how much to offer, and how much. So one measure is to actually have a consolidated database. Further, the ministry is working on strengthening the DICs, district industrial centers, and EDCs through their initiative. IIT Hyderabad is trying to support, train, and create capability in MSMEs to come out with truly world-class designs, patent, and IP protection for their products that they have. So each of these agencies will be reaching out to a lot of MSMEs individually in the coming weeks and months, because these are all programs which have been funded by the government, and it is upon the implementing agencies to ensure that MSMEs participate in these programs. Further, TGTPC is working on import substitution for MSME products. And that's why even in the question we have asked, are there any import components? If yes, maybe that will help the TGTPC to reach out and see if there is a way they can substitute the product which is being actually imported. Also, they're working on enhancing export champions program. HCL, which is the working on reviving of distressed MSMEs, help you. And we are working on mapping energy intensive MSMEs and helping them in their Adi is working on strengthening self-help groups. The other day in a conversation, I just learned that self-help groups almost take, I think, 20,000 crore or something in loan, but repayment is 99.8%, which is commendable. So SHGs are a successful model wherein the state has been able to help, and now we're looking at further strengthening them into converting them to MSMEs. So ELIP is leading that. We have been focusing on women entrepreneurship and women-led MSMEs. CIPD and CPET are specifically focusing on technology gaps in trust areas like plastics. Now, as to what exactly we are planning to do in the Greening MSME initiative. It's going to be a 2-year program, wherein we intend to impact 2,000 MSMEs, help them be transitioning from where they are to a more greener and sustainable future in a span of 2 to 3 years. This involves multiple steps. It starts with mapping. What we need to do is we need to map the energy intensity of MSME clusters and MSMEs and their products. For this, we encourage that if MSMEs can come forward and adopt some kind of digitalization EMS systems, it will really help them track, and what gets measured gets improved, right? So that will help us also give you proper guidance over the span of the project to improve your project. Once we are able to identify the MSME clusters and shortlist the ones which need most attention, then it goes into onboarding MSMEs into the program. Once the MSMEs are on board, so for onboarding, you need to do a lot of awareness sessions. We need to provide guidance online, offline sessions, multiple training sessions will be conducted to ensure that there's good participation from MSMEs. Further, once we have onboarded, then we get into the point of conducting energy audits and carbon footprint assessments. This is where we set the baseline of where you are today. And then on top of it, we'll come back with suggestions and interventions. So of the carbon footprint assessment, even experts, consultants, freega manaki DPR ichestaru, through which understand and then take up those interviews. So if there is a need for innovation for technology, then you are also going to host startup challenges which can help in coming up with newer solutions that MSMEs may need for the green energy transition. Finally, we'll be available, as we said, throughout the program, providing handholding support, DPR preparation, technical assistance, helping in fundraising or reaching out to banks or any other agencies who will be able to provide the financing for the projects. Finally, we continue to monitor the progress of the MSMEs and their green journey over the duration of this project. I've almost covered this in the earlier slide, but the nature of assistance will be technical. It will be in terms of implementation support, in terms of business guidance and business counseling, and also any other general support. Technical register, what we said, energy and carbon footprint assessment service system, access to subject matter experts. So we will empanel vendors, we will empanel consultants who are subject matter experts in these areas, and they will be made available for MSMEs to take guidance from. You will also support in DPR preparation. Implementation is where we are just starting off now. That is, the intent here is to get expressions of interest in onboard MSMEs. We will offer bundled packages so that MSMEs can easily adopt. And for instance, if you are a pharma sector MSME, I think there may be a few areas our experts have already highlighted around boilers, around heat recovery, around some other compressors. So we'll come up with packages that we can straight away adopt, mature solutions, known and respected players for optimal distributions around the planet itself. So yeah. In terms of business, this will help in improve your compliance with if there is any challenge in compliance that you're facing. Again, the experts will be there to help you address those challenges. We'll also help you in identifying the applicable government schemes and apply to them. Also, as I already highlighted, that 10 other programs that MSMEs can learn. where for the agencies, IIT Hyderabad, CPET, CITV, PISCL, TGTPC, all of them are working on various aspects of supporting MSMEs and improving their performance. We know from multiplier effectively, if the MSME gets onboarded into one program, we would know the engagement level of MSMEs, seriousness of MSMEs, and we can suggest to other program implementers as well. MSME is giving exceptional evaluation comparison, will take it to the next level, right? So there could be a multiplier effect possible. And in general, creating, we continue working on capability building, awareness creation, and providing right connections with the ecosystem. So now the big question, sorry, Danta Bond, is that what's next? So what's next is we are at this first stage, Q1 2025, feasibility assessment stage, where we're trying to gather information తీసుకుని what exactly are the challenges, మీరు ఎక్కడెక్కడ మీకు సాయం కావాలి, ఎక్కడ మనకు సమస్యలు ఉన్నాయి అవి తెలుసుకుంటే నెక్స్ట్ వీ కెన్ అసెస్ సరే ఇక్కడ స్కోప్ ఉంది. So we'll come back with a high level saying okay, there are scopes in ABC areas. Maybe if you are interested to get onboarded, then there'll be a little more detailed process to get onboarded. And after that, we can provide more assistance. So at this point, we are taking your interest through the EOI form. We will explore and come back to you with a few suggestions on what can be taken up. And as a potential and can we save 10 lakhs a year? Can we save 30 lakhs a year? Some rough number will be able to suggest based on preliminary. Then we enlist the MSMEs into the program, right? Based on once we have an understanding of the interest of MSMEs and the impact that you can create on greening, we can enlist MSMEs into the program. And then we can commission energy and carbon footprint assessment. So the energy assessment, carbon footprint assessment, comes at no cost to the MSME. There will be agencies with expertise in this area. We should reach out to MSMEs that are onboarded and then we will conduct the energy and carbon footprint assessment. We'll come back to you with some suggestions. ఒకసారి అగ్రిమెంట్ వస్తుంది సరే, ఆఫ్ ద 5 things that you have suggested, maybe you take up intervention 1 and intervention 3, around boilers and around the street problem. So then we go forward and prepare a DPR and help you through the funding and other aspects. Finally, that brings us to the implementation stage. Once all the stage is set and we know exactly what we need to do, then we reach the implementation stage where a DPR will be prepared, fundraising assistance will be provided, and projects will be grounded in it. We'll continue hand-holding and monitoring throughout the course of the program. So this is in brief what we intend to do, we have put in a UI form in the folder that each MSME has been given. Kindly request all the MSMEs to fill it up and return it back to our team so we can go through, assess and reach out back to the MSMEs. Below basic information on the company గురించి మీ పవర్ కానీ ఫ్యూయల్ కానీ మీ మెటీరియల్ కానీ ఏ కన్సంప్షన్ అవుతుంది అసలు, what is the consumptions that you have in the తెలుసుకుంటాం. ఆ తర్వాత once we know the resources being consumed, further మీరు ఏమైనా దీన్ని ఇనిషియేటివ్స్ ఆల్రెడీ చేసేగా ఎంతవరకు చేసేగా సక్సెస్ అయింది, ఎక్కడైనా మీకు సమస్యలు ఉన్నాయా, that's the other part. And that's about it. It's a very simple 10-15 questions that we are asking to get some kind of understanding on the greening potential for the MSME. So we can start our engagement right here at this venue, at this event. Whatever is there physically, the same thing is online. Whichever way you are comfortable, if you want to fill it up, on the paper, do that, or else you can also submit it online. Either ways, we'll reach out back to you and we'll take the conversation forward. Yeah, I will kind of take a break here. We have representatives from the industry department, Rajkumar Garu and Madhukar Rao Garu, joined us. So, we can go. Thank you. We'll be able to take any questions that we go.
Thank you, Srinivas sir, for highlighting the objectives and scope of this initiative. Jayesh Ranjan Garu, Department of Special Chief Secretary, Department of IT and C, had to travel to Delhi and he's not able to join us today. The same with Mansoor sir. He had to travel to Kambam and because of poor connection, he also may not be us today, but we have Shri Rajkumar Garu, Additional Director, Industries Department, Government of Telangana, and Shri Madhukar Babu Garu, Joint Director, Industries Department, Government of Telangana. I would like to invite all the dignitaries to the dais. Shri Rajkumar Garu, Additional Director, Industries Department, Government of Telangana. Please, sir. Shri Madhukar Babu Garu, Joint Director, Industries Department, Government of Telangana. Shri Sai Kishore Garu, President of Jeedimetla Industries Association. Avila Chairman, Shri Raju Garu. Please welcome, sir. And Ms. Rashmi Pinkley Garu, CEO Rich. Request Sri Sai Kishore Garu to felicitate Sri Rajkumar Garu, Additional Director, Industries Department, Government of Telangana. Now, I request Sri Sai Kishore Garu to felicitate Sri Madhukar Babu Garu, Joint Director, Industries Department, Government of Telangana. Now, I request Rashmi Pimple Garu to felicitate Shri Sai Kishore Garu, President of Jeedimetla Industries Association. Now, I request Rashmi Pimple Garu to also felicitate ILA Chairman Shri Raju Garu. Now, I request Shri Rajkumar Garu, Additional Director, to give few words. Okay. Sure. I request Shri Madhukar Babu Garu to just share few words with us.
Thank you. Very good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank Rashmi and Srinivas for organizing this program. More importantly, I also wish to extend my gratitude to Jeedimetla Industries State Chairperson, then I Chairperson for having organized this interaction session with the industries here in Jeedimetla. I'm sure you must have heard about, must have been made to be acquainted with the objective of this workshop. Just building on that, rather giving a wide view of the RAP program, what I would like to tell you is I'm sure you have been informed about the RAP program, Raising and Accelerating MSME Performance. Srinivas, have you run through that? Yeah. Thank you. So, under RAM, we are looking at initiatives which are going to accelerate the performance of MSMEs in the state. It's a World Bank aided project running into about 6,000 crores, of which in the first phase we have got about 178 crores. There are various interventions that have been proposed under this program. Of course, all of the interventions are aimed at improving the performance of MSMEs. We'll share a copy of that with you all. Then, over a period of next 2 years, we'll have a series of meetings with you, series of interactions with you. And then, as I was saying, basing on the feedback that you give, basing on the interest that you show in this program for taking up greening initiatives in your industries, more benefits will flow to you. In addition to not just this greening initiative, there are a whole lot of other interventions which are going to be implemented here in this industry state. Now, I'm sure all of you must have heard about MSME 2024 industrial policy. Under that, one of the important interventions is technological interventions called Yantram Fund, where interested MSMEs who want to introduce new technologies into your industries will be able to use that facility. 3 lakhs for new technologies will be extended to you at a subsidized cost. ఇవే కాకుండా ఇండస్ట్రియల్ పాలసీలో మీకోసం MSMEల కోసం కేవలం ఇన్సెంటివ్సే కాకుండా ఒక 6 రకాల ఇంటర్వెన్షన్స్ పెట్టడం జరిగింది. ల్యాండ్ రిలేటెడ్, ఫైనాన్స్ రిలేటెడ్, టెక్నాలజీ రిలేటెడ్, దాని తర్వాత మార్కెటింగ్ సపోర్ట్ కోసం, ఇట్లానే ఒక 6 ఇంటర్వెన్షన్స్ ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. ఈ రాబోయే వారం రోజుల్లో దీనికి సంబంధించిన గైడ్లైన్స్ కూడా ఇష్యూ చేయండి. స్థూలంగా ఏంటి అంటే ఇన్సెంటివ్స్ కొంత ఎన్హాన్స్ చేయడం జరిగింది. దాంతోపాటు పాత బెనిఫిట్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో అవన్నీ ఉంచడంతో పాటు కొత్తగా కొన్ని బెనిఫిట్స్ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేయడం జరిగింది. ఇలా చెప్పినట్టు యంత్రం ఫండ్ అని ఒక టెక్నాలజీ ఇంటర్వెన్షన్ ఫండ్, దానికి అదనంగా మార్కెటింగ్ సపోర్ట్ ఇవ్వడం కోసం కొత్త డిజిటల్ టూల్స్ ఏవైతే మీరు ప్రొక్యూర్ చేస్తారో వాటికి సబ్సిడీ ఇవ్వడం. తర్వాత ఎంఎస్ఎంఈస్ అకౌంటింగ్ ప్యాకేజెస్, అకౌంట్స్ సంబంధించిన అంశాల్లో కొంత ఇబ్బంది పడుతున్నట్టు తెలుస్తుంది. వాటికి సంబంధించిన కొత్త టెక్నాలజీస్, కొత్త సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్ మీరు సేకరించి మీకు సబ్సిడైజ్ రేట్లో అందుబాటులో తీసుకురావాలి. దీంతో పాటు ఈ కొత్త ఎంఎస్ఎంఈ పాలసీలో కొత్త టెక్నాలజీస్ ని మీకు అందుబాటులో తీసుకురావడం కోసం ఒక బెంచ్ మార్కింగ్ స్టడీ స్టార్ట్ చేయడం జరిగింది. ఆ బెంచ్ మార్కింగ్ స్టడీలో భాగంగా సిపెట్ సిఐటిటి వాళ్ళు మీ దగ్గరికి వస్తారు. మీ ప్రాంతంలో ఉన్న టెక్నాలజీస్ ఏంటి, మీరు ఇప్పుడు వాడుతున్న టెక్నాలజీస్ ఏంటి, కొత్త ఈ మెషినరీ ఏంటి, దీనికి సంబంధించి ఇంకా అప్గ్రేడెడ్ వర్షన్ ఏమున్నాయి, అక్రాస్ ద వరల్డ్, అక్రాస్ ఇండియా ఏమున్నాయి, వాటిని మీకు ఏ రకంగా అందుబాటులోకి తీసుకుంటారని ఈ స్టడీ చేసి ఈ రిపోర్ట్ మాకు ఇవ్వడం జరుగుతుంది. దాన్ని బట్టి యంత్రం ఫండ్ కింద మీకు ఈ కొత్త టెక్నాలజీస్ ని అందుబాటులో తీసుకురావడం జరుగుతుంది. దీనికి అదనంగా చాలా సంవత్సరాల నుంచి చాలా ఇనిషియేటివ్స్ ఏ వర్క్ షాప్ వెళ్ళినా కానీ చెప్తున్న ఒక ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇంటర్వెన్షన్ ఏంటంటే మాకు మ్యాన్ పవర్ అవైలబుల్ లేదు. కొత్త వాళ్ళు వస్తున్నారు, కొన్ని రోజులు పనిచేస్తున్నారు, వెళ్ళిపోతున్నారు. రీజన్ ఏంటి అంటే దానికి 2-3 రీజన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఏంటి అంటే మనకి వేరే ఆల్టర్నేటివ్స్ ఉండటం ఒకటి, రెండోది ఈ ఇండస్ట్రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ లో రెసిడెన్షియల్ ఫెసిలిటీ లేకపోవడం. సో ఈ కొత్త పాలసీలో రెసిడెన్షియల్ ఫెసిలిటీ కూడా చేయడం కోసం ప్రైవేట్ పార్ట్నర్స్ ఎంకరేజ్ చేసి వాళ్ళు ఈ హౌసింగ్ ఫెసిలిటీ దీంట్లో కల్పించాలి అన్నది ఆలోచన. అది ఈ రాబోయే గైడ్లైన్స్ లో అది ఇష్యూ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. దానివల్ల రెసిడెన్షియల్ ఫెసిలిటీ కాకుండా కమర్షియల్ యాక్టివిటీస్, తర్వాత సోషల్ యాక్టివిటీస్ కోసం స్కూల్స్, కాలేజెస్, ఇటువంటి వాటికి కూడా ఇండస్ట్రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ ప్రాంతాల్లో ఇప్పుడు ఏవైతే లిమిటేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయో వాటిని రిలాక్స్ చేసి ఇది ఎన్హాన్స్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. సో ఇట్లా కొత్త పాలసీలో మనం డిఫరెంట్ వేరే సందర్భాల్లో మనకున్న ఇబ్బందులు ఏవైతే వ్యక్తీకరించారో వాటిని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకుని ఇవి ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేయడం జరిగింది. చాలా సంతోషం ఈరోజు ఇంతమంది వచ్చారు, మీ ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ఇచ్చారు. నా రిక్వెస్ట్ ఏంటి అంటే దీన్ని కొనసాగింపుగా ఈ రోజు ఏదైతే మీకు ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ఫామ్ ఇవ్వడం జరిగిందో దాన్ని పూర్తి స్థాయిలో ఫిలప్ చేసి అది షేర్ చేసినట్లయితే కేవలం గ్రీనింగ్ కి సంబంధించిన ఇనిషియేటివ్ కాకుండా మిగతా ఏవైతే ఇనిషియేటివ్స్ ఉన్నాయో, మిగతా ఏవైతే బెనిఫిట్స్ ఈ ర్యాప్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ కింద కానివ్వండి, కొత్త ఎంఎస్ఎంఈ పాలసీ కింద కానివ్వండి, వాటిని మీకు ఇవ్వడం జరుగుతుంది. దాంట్లో మీకు ఏది సూటబుల్ అనుకుంటే, ఏది మీరు ఎలిజిబుల్ అయితే దాన్ని మీరు అప్లై చేసుకోగలుగుతారు. దానికోసం మళ్ళీ వేరేగా మళ్ళీ మా దగ్గర రావాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. సో నా రిక్వెస్ట్, మీ రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ కంటిన్యూ చేస్తూ ఆ ఫామ్ ప్రాపర్గా ఫిల్ చేసినట్లయితే దాని మీద యాక్షన్ తీసుకోవడం జరుగుతుంది. రాబోయే రోజుల్లో ఇటువంటి కార్యక్రమాలు ఇంకా నిర్వహించుకుంటాం. మీ దగ్గర నుంచి ఇంకా ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ తీసుకుని మీ అవసరాలకు అనుగుణంగా కొత్త స్కీమ్స్, కొత్త పాలసీస్ తీసుకురావడానికి కృషి చేస్తున్నాను తెలియజేస్తూ ఈ అవకాశం ఇచ్చిన మీ అందరికీ ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తాను. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
you, Shri Babu Garu, for delivering the keynote address. Now, let's take a short break. The tea and snacks will be served inside here. Parallelly, you can take your first step towards screening right here by filling the EOI forms, expression of interest forms, which are there in your folder. Once you fill the form, my colleague Aboli is here. Please raise your hand, Aboli. Yeah, you can give the forms back to her once you are done with your filling of the form.
Continue.
Before moving to Q&A section, now I request Rajkumar Garu to sorry. I request Shri Saikishwar Garu, President, Jeedimetla Industries Association, to address the audience.
I welcome Shri Jayesh Ranjan, my investor colleague, previous chairman, and Sanath Nagar, who have taken very initiative to organize this program very shortly. I think we are gathering with respect, unexpectedly, that it will work. I want to thank for educating our people on greenery, water saving and energy savings and other subjects. And we regularly we have some incentives and programs. We will exit the complaints for the because we have some problems with the DAC also, DHMC also. So, మాకు ఇక్కడ 1400 యూనిట్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, దాంట్లో మేము మాకు MSMEs వచ్చి 46%, 50 కన్నా ఎక్కువ ఉన్నాయండి, 60%. వీఆర్ గివింగ్ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్, మోర్ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్, వీఆర్ పేయింగ్ ఆన్ టైం. జనరల్గా MSMEs వల్ల ప్రాపర్గా పేమెంట్ చేస్తున్నాం. సో మాకు దాని తగ్గ రిజల్ట్స్ రావచ్చు. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఎక్స్చేంజ్ చేయాలి government taking initiatives, but we have problems that మాకు GST ఒక్కొక్క యాక్షన్ తీసుకుంటే మాకు 2015 నుంచి మాకు ఏ ఇన్సెంటివ్ స్టార్ట్ లేదు. Recently I have seen in paper and I got even message from DAC also that we are releasing 1,000 crores for MSMEs in incentives. Up to in our area, nobody is doing that. Jeedimetla Industries, not is single price. I don't know other associations also like Balanagar and Sanath Nagar. They don't know. We are, but yesterday also I got a complaint. Sorry, you have given the same. You have sent mails. They have to say we have got 1,000 crores. We have told me that DSC 2009 up to 2019 we are releasing the incentives. In that we have land investment, stage and charges, power. Everybody knows that. కానీ ఇప్పుడు మాకు ఇంకా అది రిలీజ్ కాకపోవడం అందరూ ఇంకా డిస్కరేజ్ ఉన్నారు సార్. స్పీడప్ చేసి ఇన్సూరెన్స్ వస్తే మాకు బాగుంటుంది. ఇంకా అప్పుడు మాకు ఇక్కడ రెడ్ జోన్ కూడా చాలా ఉన్నాయండి. ఇక్కడ మాకు దానికి క్యాన్సర్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి. ఇప్పుడు గవర్నమెంట్ రీసెంట్ గా పాలసీ చెప్పింది ఏంటంటే మాకు జీమెట్ నుంచి రెడ్ జోన్ అని ఆర్డర్ తీసుకెళ్ళిపోతాం. దానికి ఒక మీటింగ్ కూడా ఇక్కడ కండక్ట్ చేశారు. సో అది ఇప్పుడు మేము యాక్చువల్గా 10 years చెప్తున్నాం ఇది, కానీ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ అవ్వాల్సింది. కానీ మీరు అన్నట్టు మీరు అక్కడికి ఆర్డర్ కూడా తీసుకెళ్ళినప్పుడు సార్ చెప్పారు మంచి ఎంప్లాయీస్ కి హౌసింగ్ క్వార్టర్స్ కానీ వాళ్ళకి ఎడ్యుకేషన్ కోసం కానీ అన్ని ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ అని చేస్తే బాగుంటుంది. దానికి ఎంకరేజ్ కావాలని సపోర్ట్ కూడా చేస్తాం. ఆశీర్వదిస్తాం. అన్ని ఆశీర్వదిస్తూ దీనికి పాజిటివ్ గానే ఉన్నారండి. అన్నిటికన్నా ముఖ్యమైనది క్లియర్లెస్ సార్ జిహెచ్ఎంసి. మాకు ఇప్పుడు వచ్చి ఒక 1000 స్క్వేర్ యార్డ్స్ ఉంటే పర్ ఇయర్ వచ్చి 6 రూపీస్ పర్ స్క్వేర్ యార్డ్ ఛార్జ్ చేస్తున్నాం. మేము యాక్చువల్గా మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ నాట్ కమ్ అండర్ ట్రేడ్ పర్సన్స్, బట్ దే ఆర్ టెలింగ్ దట్ వి ఆర్ come on trade purposes. Sir, this is very important. Every day we are getting complaints from all of the neighbor also. Globally, Nacharam. So please take this initiative. Solve this problem, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity. And welcome. One more case, Sanath Nagar, మాకు ఒక రూమ్ ఇస్తే ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ కోసం ఇచ్చేస్తామన్నారు. మా దగ్గర మంచి ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ ఉంది సార్. విల్ ప్రొవైడ్ అరౌండ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, Sakishwar Garu, for sharing your thoughts. Now we move to Q&A session with MSMEs for collection of basic information on energy and production. As we have tea and filling the forms, we will begin the Q&A session. I encourage all the MSMEs to actively participate and share your insights on following topics like existing challenges, targeted areas of improvement, compliance requirements and industry priorities, and common facilities available, investment opportunities for new technologies. I invite Mr. Shri Jayesh Ranjan, Director of Sustainability Rich, to take over the dais for Q&A session.
For the Q&A session, as I said, had some introduction from the experts, Sanath, Srinivasan, the others. So they can actually take any questions that somebody have. Any other questions as far as the government schemes or policies can also be directed towards the Industries Department people. So the floor is open. The MSMEs can come forward and put across their questions to the I can answer. While it's going on, request MSMEs to fill up the EOI forms that have been provided in the folder. My folder ఏదైతే ఇచ్చారో దానిలో ఫామ్ ఉందండి, EOI ఫామ్. అది మాత్రం మీరు కాస్త జాగ్రత్తగా ఫిల్అప్ చేసి మొత్తం సబ్మిట్ చేస్తే దాని తర్వాత దాన్ని అసెస్ చేసి MSMEs ఏ రకమైన లాభం పొందుతాయని ఎంతో కొంత ఐడియా అవుతుంది. దాన్ని బట్టి MSMEs మళ్ళీ కాంటాక్ట్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. సో అది మాత్రం మీరు స్కిప్ చేసి దయచేసి
ఫ్రెండ్స్, మీకు ఇందాక చెప్పడం మర్చిపోయాను. ఇప్పుడు ఎంఎస్ఎంఈస్ కి గెట్ సర్టిఫికేషన్ అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అయిపోయిందండి. ఇందాక మేడం డేట్ అవడం కాబట్టి మర్చిపోయాను. ఇది నా గవర్నమెంట్ ఈజ్ రెస్ట్రిక్టింగ్ టు గో ఫర్ గెట్ సర్టిఫికేషన్. మనకి ఎగ్జామ్ సర్టిఫికేట్ కన్నా ఇప్పుడు ఇది గెట్ సర్టిఫికేషన్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ అవుతుంది. సో ఇప్పుడైతే మనకి ఫ్రీ ఆఫ్ కాస్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు. తర్వాత అది ఏం ఆన్ పేమెంట్ తోటే రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ అవుతుంది. కాబట్టి ఇప్పుడు మేము రోజు 5-6 యూనిట్ కవర్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉంది. మీరు ఆమెతో కోఆపరేట్ చేసి గెట్ సర్టిఫికేషన్ చేసుకుంటే చాలా ఉపయోగం. ఫ్యూచర్లో మనకి అన్ని టెండర్స్ కానీ వీటికైనా కానీ గెట్ సర్టిఫికేషన్ అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. సార్ ఇప్పుడు సాంబశివరావు గారు డెవలపర్ యూనివర్సిటీ అసోసియేషన్ సెక్రటరీ గారు వచ్చారు. సంథింగ్ సార్. మరి ఇక్కడ ఉండటం మీ మైక్
అందరికీ నమస్కారం అండి. జాయింట్ డైరెక్టర్ మధుకర్ బాబు గారు కొన్ని వాల్యుబుల్ పాయింట్స్ చెప్పారు. ఇండస్ట్రీస్ కి సబ్సిడైజ్డ్ ఫెసిలిటీస్, ఇన్సెంటివ్స్ ఇంకా బెటర్ గా ఇస్తున్నాం అని చెప్పి. సార్ మీకు నేను ఒక చిన్న విజ్ఞప్తి అండి. గ్రౌండ్ రియాలిటీ మీ దాకా వస్తున్నాయో లేదో మాకు ఎవరికి అర్థం కావట్లేదు. మా సాహిత్య షో గారు రేట్ చేసిన ట్రేడ్ లైసెన్స్ ప్రాబ్లము అందరం చాలా ఎక్కువగా ఫేస్ చేస్తున్నాం. మున్సిపాలిటీలో కానీ జిహెచ్ఎంసీ వాళ్ళు కానీ యాక్చువల్గా మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ యూనిట్ కి ట్రేడ్ లైసెన్స్ అప్లికేబుల్ అని చెప్పి వాళ్ళు చెప్తున్నారు. జీవో కాపీ కూడా చూపిస్తున్నారు. దయచేసి మీరు జీవో కాపీలో అమెండ్ చేయాల్సిందిగా కోరుతున్నాను. ఇండస్ట్రీస్ కి ట్రేడ్ లైసెన్స్ అవసరం లేదని చెప్పి మా అందరి అభిప్రాయం అండి. ట్రేడర్స్ కి ట్రేడ్ లైసెన్స్ ఇవ్వచ్చు కానీ ఎంఎస్ఎంఈ యూనిట్స్ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ సెక్టర్ లో వృత్తి వ్యాపార లైసెన్స్ అని చెప్పి ఇంతకుముందు మాకు ఉండేదండి. జస్ట్ 1000 రూపాయలు తీసుకున్నారు ఇయర్లీ. ఇప్పుడు వీళ్ళు ఎస్ఎఫ్టీ బేసిస్ లో ట్రేడ్ లైసెన్స్ ఇస్తామని చెప్పి అప్ టు 7 రూపీస్ వరకు వాళ్ళు చార్జ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అని చెప్పి మున్సిపాలిటీస్ కి అధికారం ఇచ్చారు. దాంతో వాళ్ళు ఇష్టానుసారంగా బెదిరింపులు దిగుతున్నారు. లాక్ చేస్తాము, యూనిట్ సీల్ చేస్తామని చెప్పి. ఈ మధ్య మా దగ్గరికి వస్తే మీరు యూనిట్ సీల్ చేస్తే కనుక మాకు చాలా హ్యాపీ సార్, రావాల్సిన వాళ్ళందరూ మా దగ్గరికి వస్తారు, మేము రోడ్డు మీద కూర్చుంటామని. సో మీరు కొంచెం దాన్ని సీరియస్ గా తీసుకుని మీ ఇండస్ట్రియల్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నుంచి మున్సిపల్ అడ్మినిస్ట్రేషన్ వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడి కొంచెం ఆ ట్రేడ్ లైసెన్స్ ని రద్దు చేయాల్సిందిగా కోరుచున్నాను సార్. నెక్స్ట్ టీజీఐసి వాళ్ళు మా ఇండస్ట్రీస్ అందరికీ కూడా ల్యాండ్ అలాట్ చేస్తున్నారు కానీ తర్వాత ఫెసిలిటీస్ గురించి కానీ తర్వాత మేము ఫేస్ చేసే ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ గురించి కూడా పట్టించుకోవట్లేదు. ఇండస్ట్రీస్ ల్యాండ్ అలాట్ చేస్తున్నారు, తర్వాత రోడ్స్ చాలా హైట్ లో వేస్తున్నారు, మేము చాలా కింద లో లెవెల్ లో ఉంటున్నాము. కనీసం గ్రావెల్ కూడా మేము తెచ్చుకునే పరిస్థితి ఉంది. గ్రావెల్ తెచ్చుకోవాలంటే లోకల్ విలేజెస్ తో కానీ వాళ్ళందరూ మాఫియాగా ఉండి చాలా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నారండి. అలాగే ల్యాండ్ అలాట్ అయిన తర్వాత వాటర్ ప్లాట్ వాళ్ళు కనీసం కాంపౌండ్ వాళ్ళకు కట్టుకోలేకపోతున్నారు, విలేజెస్ నుంచి బెదిరిస్తున్నారు. మేము ఈ మధ్య రీసెంట్ గా విష్ణువర్ధన్ రెడ్డి గారిని కలిస్తే ఆయన అంటున్నారు, అన్ని ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ మీరు మా దగ్గర తీసుకొస్తే మీరు ఎట్లాగండి, మీరు ఫేస్ చేయాలి, మీరు అవసరమైతే ఫైట్ చేయాలి అంటున్నారు. మేము క్రోర్స్ ఆఫ్ రూపీస్ పే చేసి టీజేఐసికి మళ్ళీ విలేజెస్ తోటో లోకల్ లీడర్స్ తోటో మేము అక్కడ ఫేస్ చేయాలంటే మేము ఇండస్ట్రీస్ మీద ఫోకస్ పెట్టకుండా మేము గల్లీ రౌడీలతోటి మేము ఫేస్ చేయాల్సి వస్తుందండి. అది బార్డర్స్ అన్ని వాళ్ళు ఫిక్స్ చేసేసి మాకు ల్యాండ్ అలాట్ చేసేటప్పుడు చాలా క్లియర్ గా అలాట్ చేసింది గవర్నమెంట్. మేము ఎందుకు వస్తున్నాం అంటే టీజేఐసికి మా ప్రైవేట్ ల్యాండ్ పక్కన చాలా తక్కువ దొరుకుతున్నా సరే ఎక్కువ ప్రైస్ పెట్టి మేము టీజేఐసిలో తీసుకుని మళ్ళీ మా జోలికి మమ్మల్ని వదిలేస్తున్నారు. అది కొంచెం మీరు పై లెవెల్లో తీసుకెళ్ళి ఆ ప్రాబ్లమ్ సాల్వ్ చేస్తారని అనుకుంటున్నాను. అలాగే మీరు లేబర్ ప్రాబ్లం చెప్పారు, మ్యాన్ పవర్ అవైలబిలిటీ. దానికి మేము ఇంతకుముందు ఐటీఐలు ఉండేవి, ఐటీఐ నుంచి చాలా మంది వస్తూ ఉండేవారు. మీరు మళ్ళీ కొంచెం ఐటీఐని కొంచెం టెక్నాలజీగా లేటెస్ట్ మిషనరీ పెట్టి మంచి ఇన్స్ట్రక్టర్ పెట్టి ఆ ట్రైనింగ్ ఇచ్చి కొంచెం మ్యాన్ పవర్ ని చేస్తే బాగుంటుందని చెప్పి అనుకుంటున్నానండి. అలాగే దాంతో పాటు ఇండస్ట్రీకి వాళ్ళకి అలాట్ చేసిన ల్యాండ్ తో పాటు అకార్డింగ్ దట్ కొంత ఫ్లాట్స్ కానీ ల్యాండ్ కానీ ఈ రెసిడెన్షియల్ పర్పస్ ప్రతి ఇండస్ట్రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ కి ఇస్తే మీరు ఆల్రెడీ పాయింట్ చెప్పారు. కానీ ఏ ఇండస్ట్రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ దగ్గర అక్కడే ల్యాండ్ అలాట్ చేసి రెసిడెన్షియల్ కి కూడా ఇస్తే బాగుంటుందండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి ఫర్ అంటే మీ సమస్యలన్నీ ముందు పెట్టారు. డెఫినెట్ గా అంటే ప్రాపర్ ఛానల్ అంటే దీన్ని నోట్లో మీరు ఇస్తే దే కెన్ ప్రాబ్లీ టేక్ ఇట్ అప్ one by one. So I advise whatever concerns you have with respect to green. Yeah. With respect to green, you can constrain it. This discussion will be more useful. So the green paranga, if there are any challenges or concerns or any questions, certainly feel free to ask. Anything you want to add?
So it was really a surprise, like when Mr. Srinivas from Reach was showing some slides, he has mentioned that this renewable, it is only 1%. So based on whatever the policy that every industry can install up to 20% of solar. So that 1% can go up to 20%. And that will help you to reduce your power cost. So if you have 1 megawatt, you can install 1 megawatt solar and it will give you 20% of whatever your contract demand or maximum consumption is. So, and then the power cost of solar has reduced much lower. So if you see right now, you might be paying around 7 or 8 rupees per unit, sir. Am I right? So if you go for solar, you will get it around 4 to 5 rupees. So in a way, there is a benefit. So 20% of your power consumption you can replace from electricity board to solar, and you will get revenue, you will get benefit. That is a low-hanging fruit. Anybody can go. I'm really surprised to see 1%. Because there are good vendors now. Earlier there were problems with vendors, and we can also through reach we can help you to identify better vendors, and that also we can support you. Any other questions on greening?
Yeah, so I'm just curious about the renewable energy use, RE usage, right? So you mentioned that MSME is only using 1%, less than 1% is what you mentioned, and the bigger companies, right, large companies are taking the maximum capacity of load, right? I mean, so how much are they using? What is the percentage of energy they are taking from the renewable energy or whatever? Yeah.
So the thing that I highlighted was that of the 70,000 gigawatt hour total energy that Telangana state has consumes, 40% is going to industries, about 25 to 28,000 gigawatt hours. And of that again, 1/4 is being taken up by MSMEs and 3/4 is being taken up by the large enterprises. Okay. So MSME energy consumption is almost 7,000 gigawatt hour. That's how much is being consumed by MSMEs.
My question is that only less than 1% is RE in MSME. What about larger companies? I mean, what's the percentage is?
From this large 80%, particularly in industry.
So, but do we have any stats?
Yeah, big companies are suppose the building that strong net zero, they're 100% electrified, 100% from the RE.
So the other question is that, so what are the agencies? You did mention that there is help. I mean, so you have agencies which help us assess the companies and let us know what is the possibility, whether carbon neutral, carbon zero possibility, or any other. So what are those agencies? Do you have a list of agencies? I didn't see anywhere. So if you could just share those agencies' information, I think we can approach you guys.
Certainly. We are at the first stage of the implementation of the program. At this point, we are going out, reaching out, and trying to create a list of empaneled vendors. Okay. We will come back to the industries with a list of empaneled vendors that will be available for you to take any assistance in this area. At this moment, we still haven't started the process of empaneling vendors.
Yeah, I think one more thing, I think subsidies also you mentioned. If nobody has any clarity about it, if you have details about that, please share that as well. So that, I mean, what are the instruments you have, what instrument, and each instrument, what's the subsidy you have, and such things. I think it would be helpful for us to take any step towards.
Okay, yeah. We take this as a feedback, and we come back to you with a more detailed portal where you can see information about this Greening MSME initiative and what kind of central government and state government incentives can be applicable to this initiative. That's also something.
Launching on programs for the MSME industry, there is a buying energy technology. So there are some micro industry, there are loan of 3% interest rate. And if you have MSME medium scale, it will be 5% interest rate. So very soon it will be launching by next month, it will be launching that program. Or it is scheme.
There is one more question I have about Yantram. Yantra program. So, are there any subsidies on softwares people buy? Something like ERP. So you have a ERP solutions, and ERP solutions are generally helpful in bringing efficiency actually in the companies. So are there any subsidies in that?
Absolutely, there are.
So are there any details around it so that that can be?
If you have heard me when I was saying, we are in the process of identifying the requirements. Once requirements are identified, we collate them and go following a process, empanel or finalize subsidized packages for various requirements. So it is work in progress. Probably in a couple of months, we'll be there.
So that will be applicable for software and the IoT devices. Is that right?
Hardware, software, everything.
Thank you.
Decent budget. There was announced 5 lakhs credit card for MSME owners. What is the status of this?
Well, we are yet to receive guidance of that.
Okay. In southern, except in Andhra Pradesh, no senior citizen is paying provincial tax as an entrepreneur. Only in Andhra Pradesh it is there. Can you do anything about it? I mean, senior citizen. I am asking Telangana. You are put in Telangana. DGST people are asking always pay provincial tax, but other states are asking provincial tax. Karnataka, I know senior citizens. Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Goa, Bengal, Daman. In these states, no provincial senior citizens. Only Telangana government are asking. Can you do anything? I mean, senior citizen, and some of my friends are also senior citizens in MSMEs.
Jeedimetla almost 60% are senior citizens.
So we need that answer. We think of the problem.
No, it can be represented at an appropriate forum. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Thing, for your speech, I like one thing. We just look at the labor. I started my unit in a colony. 40 people are working in me. If I take my unit to somewhere else, these will become helpless, unemployed. But I cannot get labor or somebody says. I don't have any problem to run the unit. But tomorrow, people will come, turning the seat of justice in industry or such as equivalent. See, government is becoming a problem to run their MSME in certain cases, which are to be attended. Don't think otherwise, sir. I'm not a MSME.
Why should we? Why should we? We have come to hear you. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please.
Now, I request Shri Rajkumar Garu, Additional Director, Industries Department, Government of Telangana, to address the audience.
Very good afternoon. Dignitaries on the dais, Sri Scientist on the President, GIA, Sri Raju Chairman, ILA, GIA, Kashmir, which agency is Nevo, Srinivas Kalu from Bridge, and my joint director Balanagar Babu, who are on the dais. And out the days, all the dignitaries, very good afternoon. I am Rajkumar Garu, Additional Director Industries Department, Government of Telangana. We had discussions with Scientist of the First of all, the question, he told me that he has about 1400 membership. Out of this, only 400 are active in the association. But we would like to have this association meeting. Why only 400 are active? What happened to the other 1,000 associates? So details not పంపిస్తే శ్రీనివాస్ ఈ 1400 association membership లో 400 active ఉన్నారు. So you provide us this 1400 association list and 400. What happened to this 1,000 which are inactive? What are the problems? So you officially address us and because we want to have active proactive association with all the industry associations. And we understand also MSME 2024 policy has been announced by the Honorable Chief Minister of Telangana, in the month of September of last year. So the framework of the policy has been announced. Operational guidelines are under process. Shortly we are going to give the operational guidelines. MSME 2020-24 policy incentives, we have enhanced policy. We have increased incentives, keeping the trends present in action. And we have enhanced these incentives also. Apart from this, the greening of industries we are taking. ఇందులో సెల్ఫ్ హెల్ప్ గ్రూప్స్ కూడా ఉమెన్ పర్టికులర్లీ ఉమెన్ సెల్ఫ్ హెల్ప్ గ్రూప్స్ కూడా మా స్పెషల్ సీఎస్ గా జయేష్ గారు ఇస్ వెరీ keen to have them. The MSME incentives which are available, enhanced incentives available for women entrepreneurs, they should also be provided to self-help groups of solar energy being implemented by this group. So ఇది కూడా we are sending the proposals to government to improve this so that any industrial estates law we are contemplating to have this tractor factory complexes also. అందులోనే ఈ schemes కూడా తీసుకొస్తే whatever as you all are aware they are paying more unit price for the electricity and ఇవి అన్ని వచ్చేస్తే almost 3 rupees 4 rupees range లో we can have benefit of per unit. So we are contemplating on this. And apart from this, Srinivas Sai Kishore garu aduguta unte government has released some major incentives. Okay. Yes, we have about 4,000 crores incentives pending for the past 2015 onward. But of late, government has released about 1,000 crores. అందులో 5,000 crores almost released అయినాయి. And we are getting the UCs from various districts, GMs వాళ్ళందరూ యూనిట్స్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్ రన్నింగ్ లో ఉన్నాయా లేదా అవన్నీ చూసేసి we are receiving the utilization whether the unit is working or not. So before the end of this March financial year, it is under process releasing this incentives to all the industries which are due for quite long. We are going ahead with this. So actually, past 10 years, their releases were very meager, but of late, for the past 2-3 months, we are getting huge amounts of releases being released from the government. So it's a good and gesture from the government side also. These are the two aspects I wanted to address. Apart from this, as you all are aware, are attending this RAMP program. This is a World Bank assisted program with 6,000 crores being given by the World Bank to all the states in our country. In Dutlo last year, I have also attended meeting and I was privileged to attend this meeting, and in that meeting, MSME Minister garu kuda unde. So our state has been sanctioned about 117 crores for this 4 years program. So already this timelines have already started. We are supposed to complete it within 4 years, but there are chances that it can be prolonged also. So in the 11 components have been approved by the MSME Government of India Ministry. Andutlo the major components I will spell out. I think Madhukar Babu has already indicated. The major issues are strengthening institutions and green governance of MSME. Support to market access for firm capabilities as well as access to finance. These are the main general rules. Under this, 11 components have been given. First one is consolidate MSME database. We don't have authentic data and want to have the real-time information of all the industries so that we can have an effective database for making the policy framework in an effective manner. The second aspect is setting up of enterprise development centers at DICs. We have 33 districts and we have 33 GMs. But in our industries department, of late, we are running the department with 50% manpower only. There are about 140 vacancies in the department. And day by day, every year, lot number of employees are also retiring. So to take care of this, in the law, we want to have EDCs being monitored by other agencies also with supporting assistance so that we can implement all these 11 components being taken up under RAM program. The third is Center for Design Excellence, enhancing firm capabilities through design and other trademark, etc., etc. Import substitution. Expand MSMEs by importing whatever import substitutes are there. The intention is that it should be manufactured here so that they don't have to pay the import duties and all. In the Tragoda, we are working in with all the agencies, with all the technical experts. The other aspect is reviving distressed MSMEs. Everybody is aware industrial health clinic organization has been floated. This functioning for the past few years. Parishram Bhavanlo, this health clinic is there. So any stressed account is there. And if incentives are not being released in time because it is actual fact is there. So once you approve them, then they will have a diagnostic study. And we are earmarking about 5% of whatever budget we are getting from incentives. It will be kept with them. And whatever stressed industries are there, which are facing problems, and the incentives is due for them. We can approach them, have the diagnostic study with health clinic as well as GMDAC. And this amount can be put to them for reviving them so that the unit doesn't close down the unit. So this issue is also there. You can always utilize the services if any industry is facing this stressed accounts or financial aspects. The other thing is greening of MSMEs. The rich organization working on that, and all are aware of it. And central government's budget is this one, subsidies are also there, and this you can also utilize this. Self-help groups and starter MSMEs. As I told you, women self-help groups we are trying to give them on par the benefits of enhanced MSME incentives being announced by the government. The 8th project is acceleration of women program. 9th is identification of export components. 10th is benchmarking studies to access sectorial technology gaps. And inflow we are involving CITD and CPET assistance also we are taking, so that their technical expertise can be utilized. So this number of issues are being dealt under plan. So I want each and every member of your association to give the inputs based on your expertise and running the industries day in, day out, so that these aspects will be noted on by all our agencies, and a better policy interventions can be taken up to deal with this aspect. With these few words, I thank all the association people for giving me this opportunity to work in this. Thank you.
Banks కి 90 days లో ఎంగేజ్ చేస్తారు.
సార్ ఇంకోటి మీరు ఏమడిగారంటే ట్రేడ్ లైసెన్స్ గురించి అడిగారు. FEDSI organization has also been writing letters to us, and from Special CS Jayesh Ranjan sir దగ్గర నుంచి కూడా మేము GHMC కూడా లెటర్ రాసాము. This is a very severe issue. You should examine and deal this aspect. But once again, if you address this, we have already addressed it based on FEDSI association people. We have been addressing GHMC, but the issue is pending. But kindly address a letter. Definitely, we will again address this to the GHMC and check and take up this.
More issues on this bank, these banks, they are NPA without within 90 days. They are not,
Sufficient.
are not paying. Yeah.
My request is, it is going to 120 days. Already, some banks are connected notice here, but I also presented to them. Why don't we make 120 days? 90 days is very short. And the interest rates are, national banks also, their interest rates are varying, sir. Then SBI is charging for 11% and union banks are charging 10% like that. You unify the all national banks to same interest rate to everybody in the same. They are telling that you are getting, be depending upon your rating, that's why your interest rates are high, like that they are telling, sir. That is not correct, we are busy.
Yeah, definitely, this IND will address it to the SLBC, but this is a policy.
RBI, they are telling this is RBI guidelines, it cannot. But the 120 days, sir, already FEDSI has taken out to central government finance minister also. We also will give one representation.
Definitely.
Thank you. One more request, Andy. 27th and 28th, CAI are also conducting same type of program with lunch, morning 11 to evening 4 o'clock, 2 day session. We have any doubts on all, how to teach the projects and all. On March 15th also, we are celebrating Holi year. First time we are celebrating Holi in our Jeedimetla Association. So please participate both programs, make it success. Thank you.
ట్రేడ్ లైసెన్స్ గురించి వాళ్ళు ఏదైతే పుష్పాలు అరేంజ్ చేయకుండా వీళ్ళకి ట్రేడ్ లైసెన్స్ గురించి అరేంజ్ చేయకుండా
చేయలేదు అది చాలా ఆల్రెడీ ఫెస్టివల్
Thank you, Rajkumar Ovaskar Garu, for addressing the audience and sharing their insights. As we come to the end of this consultation, I would like to invite Mr. Srinivas Charla Garu to deliver the closing remarks.
So, thank you all once again for taking your time out and being here. I don't have much of a closing statement or anything, but I hope and I really request all the MSMEs to participate in this program. We have heard the seriousness of the Telangana State Representatives and the Industry Department in helping out and ensuring the transition of MSMEs and improving the health of MSME ecosystem. Please take this opportunity and come forward in good numbers. We look forward to interacting with a lot of the MSMEs from Jeedimetla and surrounding industrial regions in the coming days. Thank you very much.
On behalf of which Commissionerate of Industries, Government of Telangana, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the speakers, chief guests, and office bearers, and participating MSMEs and other stakeholders and rich team for your valuable contribution. We extend our gratitude to Jeedimetla Industries Association for providing the venue and Balanagar, Sanath Nagar, Nagar, Nacharam Industries Associations and ILA and other federation members for support in mobilizing MSMEs and facilitating their active participation. Let us continue and our collective efforts to drive sustainability and innovation in the MSME sector. Thank you all. Have a great evening. We can have a small group photo here, so please stay back. And once we have the photo, you can join for the networking and tea break. Thank you. I request all of you to please join for the group photo now.